scones.
I'm happy I just had half a scone and 2 cups of tea. I've got
I'm like, my hand is like all the way in the Sure. I have some, I just don't know where it is.
All right.
It's yours. Yeah, I got mine.
It's always the books. Always the books.
Thank you.
Reminds me of Black.
I've been very controlled with the books this time.
The mountains in the background.
At least we can do it where you're shoving your phone.
I love books.
I've got 2 little books this time. I've been really good. First time I came, I bought a whole case full of books and I carried them in my hand luggage and I had to carry it. The miles.
You know, that's like when you're
Thank you, I'm sticky now.
That's good.
one of these like little like Salvation Army type places.
Yeah.
I found the Robert Burns book, and then I found a couple other books. I'm like, stop.
Charity shops are still up.
Yeah, charity shops. That's what
I got them out on the charity shop.
because it was like the day before we went to Robert Burns' place. They didn't have any money, and like
up there.
credit card holders.
Just make sure
I
I'm
still haven't got any
squeezing
money.
in
I
those
got
pieces of porcelain.
Oh,
Like you said, took a credit card. My Scott.
Is this your purple? That's your purple, right?
Yeah, that's my bag. That's not my bag, though.
That's Lucas.
That's not my bag. That's Lucas' bag.
I'm gonna put you in
I
here
was
too.
like going around
like,
yesterday, and I'm like, I don't have another.
That was fun.
2 5-pound notes.
Yeah.
James and I had Cornish pasties. We don't eat for a week, but I have a feeling I probably will. 1 o'clock for lunch. I'm going straight to the desserts. This pup here, it'll be on your right with a stick in his mouth.
I don't know what you're going to get in this time, honey.
Everything
Maybe
is.
push the bottom.
What a beautiful little town.
Go in. That's sort of old,
It's got a blockage. Let's see what it is. It could be that thing.
Could be.
Did you see the Peter Rabbit shop?
I'll get it. Let's see what that is. It's right.
Now's when you start paying attention to the stone walls and the stone houses.
Yeah, it's different.
I just joined your new show.
What was that?
The beautiful little town with 2 that went to a mall. Which one? No, off Boban. Tobermory. Oh, with all the colored turquoise. Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a nice little park over here.
Yeah, would have been. And then a lot Iona. Beautiful too. Yeah. With the old mulberry.
This is the River Greta.
Monastery?
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. And beautiful little shop.
A lot of the houses in the stone, look at the stonework on these houses on the right. You pull them out and there's stuff with horsehair. A long time ago, kept out the cold.
Yeah. That's true. Love that.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the problem they ran into when it was at the point.
Look at that car.
The roof is burning further beyond the Truckee River, except it's wider. Wider.
I fell made that.
He's going to have a very entertaining YouTube show.
I
Putting it at home.
some carving.
So when you're complaining about the
He does a lot. He's done his father.
Yes,
He's an interior
he does.
designer. And thought it was really wanky. So he did that for a year. So I hate this. He said to his dad, "Can't do it." He's already an adult. He's already like 24 or something. He said, "I want to do an apprenticeship." So he said, "That's me."
Well, you know what, if you learn to make
builds, you know,
make
stuff
somebody happy.
as well. So he makes furniture as well, as well as restoring stuff.
Have a lot of
So many cards and he's
This is true. I do have some up here.
Davis was into
paints too, but doesn't really paint anymore. Just like mine.
I don't know what he does, but I don't even want to come out. Classes for somebody in class who's a level. Because I've always wanted, I have an iron bed that's sculpted by an artist. I've had it for years now.
Friday.
Hey, he's not a dog. Don't tell him to sit like that. He's a boy.
Okay.
Just kidding.
See, it's a good thing that we have you along. You're the perfect size for the seat.
Because we all had to pick Disney characters. The family shot in Disney.
It's not me.
My son was
That's just me.
R2-D2.
I was like you when I was younger. I always, if we took a lot of people, if we had 5 of us in a car, if we had 5 of us in a car, I usually end up in the middle. They'd like, you in the middle. You're the skinny one. You're the little one. You can fit in the middle.
So I figured out the
Car, the back seat.
That's when you piece.
That's right.
You feel it on the side and you feel it sticking this way.
I managed to carry that.
It's got to go this way. It's got to go vertical, not horizontal.
Will it fit?
It will. It's got to be vertical. So I want to be a carry-on because I don't want to damage, right?
It's going to be heavy to carry on all those bloody empties.
It's not too bad. We have a non-stop.
Only got one airport.
Yeah, non-stop.
Oh, yeah, you're in America, not Australia, aren't you?
You can't have a non-stop because yours is too.
One stop. We get brown ears and his nose was brown. So he has little Hershey kiss cake nose.
Let's see how this works.
It would be.
I always be like, I want to go climb it. And I'd be like, no.
I go up the little hill and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You grow up with that. So I'm always like,
We used to have some classes blindfolded. Classes blindfolded. So that you didn't hide your senses. And when I first learned a horseback ride, English saddle, you had to ride the horse with your hands out like this and your eyes closed. And feel the horse. And so I always think of that when we're unpacking. You don't look, but you feel the outside of the bag, you can tell where it's going to break. It's good breaking. If you're supposed to break, I can tell when it points on.
the universe tells us we travel. But I will continue tracking.
So, good.
It was a sign, yeah.
It's not gonna be too tall.
Yeah.
I have a unicorn book at the bottom.
I love when you're like coming by.
How about you bring it on?
I figured it would give it base, right?
With Arthur seat sometimes. I'm never got the little field before.
Try to get that little castle back.
The girl that did the furniture, she's like, let me know if you have time. I would love to take over.
My mom has
I'm like,
this too beautiful.
over on the sheet.
This painting
I
I
like
did
their seat and I have to
of
I got all
man and woman, and
which
the
requires
woman is standing by the well to get water.
Yeah.
The young man is
Is she
like
pointing out things to me?
man,
Does she that's
and it's called Blood Maid.
Did you want to
This
take
woman that was in her turn painted the sort of a section
there's a big path
for
quarters of the way up and then you just
and then I got it. She passed. She gave it to me both
and I just got separated because I
these two figurines. That's tall. It's old man.
nope, not gonna die.
He's carrying the jug.
Like,
The grapes from the winery.
So they had to bring in
Where they started. And they ended. Exactly. And so I kept them and had them next to each other on the over the thing. Those things are like, you don't get that with these things. Only old things. One more time.
That little silver ledge is a fact.
It's yeah. Again, a
Well
done.
done. 10
Oh.
points for trying.
So my father used to say to me when I was little, he'd say, you can't quit. You never quit. Never be a quitter. He'd say, don't quit.
And
Don't
Billy's
quit.
asked me to tell you a wee bit about these walls, because I was lucky enough to learn how to build all these walls that we're seeing in these fields. In the Lake District and in Wales, the next place you're going to, you're probably going to see some of the best examples of surviving walls in Britain. Scotland's got some really good ones, but then the kind of level of class goes up a step when you come down here into the Lake District. As Brian said earlier, we call them dry stone dikes. And that's what Brian's father was. His daddy was a dry stone dike builder. And so the art of it is using the weight of the stones to lock together without any mortar. And that's how you build a wall. There's absolutely no mortar or cement in any of these walls that you're seeing right now.
Well,
Each stone that you're seeing has to be hand dug from the ground. So the farmer, when he's ploughing these fields, is constantly bringing up these stones. And what they used to do was have a stone pile in the corner of the field, and it would just grow and grow and grow, and then from that they would build these walls. A stone dike wall that is properly built can last 300, 400 years, no problem. As long as the big cattle don't use it as a scratch post, you should have no problem with it. The big coos like to scratch up against them, and that's what can knock them down. Then the farmer has to come out. If you look out on your left, you'll see the big gaps in that wall, and it's more likely the cattle that have done it. They're living walls, that's what I like to call them, they're living walls. The difference between these and just say barbed wire fence is the barbed wire fence, its only reason in life is just to separate the field, keep the sheep in that field, keep them away from the other field. The wall, well, it does the same job, but it's a living wall. It's alive with lichen and moss and different flowers. It's also a home for the frogs, the bugs, the bees, the mice, the snakes. They all live inside these walls, so you know they serve a much greater purpose than just separating a farmer's field. It's a bit of a dying art now. In the whole of the country, not many farmers have the time anymore to learn the skill and pass it on to their sons, and not many sons now follow their fathers into the farming industry, so it's a bit of a dying art as a dry stone diking. They're built from the bottom up. A dry stone dike should be, if it's built properly, about 5 foot in height. You start with the foundation stones, or as the dikers call them, the fund stones, and then you build up. And it comes at a tapered angle, it tapers in as it gets higher, and you're using your big field stones to go up, and then inside that you've got what they call the fill stones. These are smaller chuck-like stones, and they're inside the wall. The whole inside of that wall is filled with chuck stones. And then up the top you have the cap stones. The cap stones are larger stones, and they usually stand on their ends, and what they're doing is when the rain comes, the rain sheds off the capstones, then runs down the outer walls of your dry stone dike. And remember I just said there that it tapers in as it gets higher? Well, that lets the water run down to the fund stones and then disperse into the field. The reason you want it to do that is because if that water gets in, comes off those capstones and then runs into the wall, then winter will come, it will freeze the water, then it expands and it starts moving the stones. And remember, these dikers have laid each stone with precision, and they're all locked in on their weight. There's no mortar holding it in, so we don't want any water to freeze up and move these stones slightly, because then the whole structure of the wall becomes unstable. So the water's got to be able to shed off. As I say, it's a dying art now. I was lucky enough about 7 years ago now to take a course in it and get my certifications in it. Had this grand idea that I would maybe take it up as a job, dry stain diking, but someone then told me that you never see a dry stain diker over the age of 50. And then I met Bill Reid, and he fills all my time with nonsense. Don't have any time for myself. I heard a wonderful old story about the dikers, and when they came to an end of a wall, they would leave a little secret compartment inside, a little hollow, and only they knew that they were there, and they would leave a wee bottle of whiskey in the hollow and then seal it up, and it was left there for the next diker who would have to come and repair the wall. And it was inside knowledge that you knew if you were going to be out there on a hard day in all types of weather repairing a wall, that well, at the end of it you'd have your reward. You'd go and find a wee bottle of whiskey, have yourself a dram.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what
Just my big bed. Well, they're brown and white like reverse. Brown and white shoes inside.
Yeah.
White faces and white legs.
Hedricks. They call them Hedricks.
Hedricks.
Yeah.
Hedricks.
That's what
Sounds like something from Harry
Just
Potter.
away to the right about 2 o'clock, that's what they call Dunmail. It's 845 metres above sea level. And I don't know if you see it, but it's supposed to be a lion. You can just see it sitting up.
Hedwig.
It's a lion and a lamb, and it's supposed to be playing an organ. It depends on how you look at it. When you come off the other side, it's totally different. So we're just coming down into Grasmere, folks. And it was here that William Wordsworth moved into Dove Cottage with his sister Dorothy way back in 1799, and then he married his sweetheart Mary in 1802, and then he moved to Allenbank, but he didn't like Allenbank for some unknown reason. He came back here, but he ended his days in Rydal Mount, which we'll go past. We won't see the actual house where he died in the 23rd of April. I'm trying to mind the year of it. 1850. He died. Now, Grasmere, you can also go up at the village and you'll see Wordsworth's grave behind the church. And it's also famous, Grasmere, for gingerbread. So if you love gingerbread, you'll love Grasmere. So we're going to be stopping here, just down here in another couple of 3 minutes.
So here I am down near Grasmere. It's a lovely little village here. Now if you've not had anything to eat, there's little cafes here. There's a garden centre as well.
Yep.
Is it Dobby's?
Oh, this black lamb.
Is this where we're staying or just where we're having lunch?
I think warming up your water.
Do we know? Do you know if this is where we're
I think we're doing lunch here. They were talking time up there. So
We're doing lunch here, but so we're not staying here. We're not.
No, we go
It's
on
not
to
where our hotel is.
the
I know, because that's Windermere. Windermere.
Windermere Hydro.
I have a feeling we had lunch at Windermere.
Yeah.
If we did.
Yeah. We're working off the sugar.
Sugar is making it happen. You're not working off the sugar.
It's really bad and all for us and just start going. Oh yeah, we can do it. I'm like waiting on the phone to like fly off. I know it's a cow. Oh god, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
I don't know what's there.
I know, I want to live in like some
I'm sure I can't afford it.
Oh, I got a lot of plans for money, I don't know. Don't we all? I like this one, that's the combo. Oh, and then windows? The one with the giant windows overlooking, that's perfect.
Wow.
My friend
There's a
lives
lot
on
of
a
windows,
loft in Calgary, and I just like, you can just sit out and it's like, it helps. I love that with the gardens.
And that lady passed that surrender.
Although that would not be fun going up and down.
No.
No.
I think she shoved another bag down her horse.
Oh, this is a killer.
I don't think she realized he has a name.
That's pretty.
I love that one that's all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the ones that are tucked back
Way
there.
back there?
Yeah, that gorgeous big one.